Hello, it is Wednesday, June 20th, and I'm back. It's me, Isaac. So, sorry for missing the video last week. I was in DC competing for National History Day, and while I was there, the computer with the copy of my video on it died. The computer was just like, hey, you don't have any OS anymore, so you can't start up. You also can't get your files off because you're in a different state. If you're watching from far in the future, greetings from the past. If you're somehow watching from the past, good job making a time machine. And if you're watching me as I make this, well, that's creepy. Most people this week have been talking about SATs and colleges and all that. I don't want to think about that, so I'm just going to ignore that subject and pretend that no one else is talking about it. Instead, I'm going to talk about what I did last week. So NHD is a national competition, National History Day, that includes students from all over the country, and in fact, some American schools from outside of the country, who create many different types of projects about history. The project I worked on was a group documentary with me and two of my friends about the Battle of Blair Mountain, a mining revolution in West Virginia that no one has ever heard about, despite the fact that it is the largest labor strike in US history and the third largest civil revolution next to the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. There's a link to that down here. It's on YouTube. You can go see it. Our group made it to the finals and made 14th national. And while it was fun to sit in an auditorium watching judges watch our documentary, the real highlight of the trip was seeing everything else in DC. DC is an interesting place, a neutral zone carved out of DC is an interesting place, a neutral zone carved out of Maryland to provide a neutral place for our government to meet, and one of the few cities on the eastern seaboard to be planned and not just built chaotically. And that plan is a very interesting plan. Not only does it have the usual grid of streets, it has these strange diagonal streets that seem to overlay it. While I was out there, I saw an article on the internet questioning whether DC really should remain a non-state. When it was created, states were wary of other states controlling the nation's capital. But now, the US is less of a confederation of independent states and more like one solid country. Should we make DC a state? If so, should we increase its size? Puerto Rico will hold 2 elections this year to determine whether it should remain a territory, become a state, or its own sovereign country. I'm pro-state for both DC and Puerto Rico, if for no other reason than it would make an awesome deck of cards. Dog barking, dog barking. I'm Isaac Weiss, and that's all.